Every business wants good customer reviews. Every customer wants a good experience. So what happens when both sides click? Or in some cases, when they don't? From Yelp and Entrepreneur Media, this is Behind the Review.
Behind the review, dig deeper too. Behind the review, get all the news. Food, flowers, fixing, make business boom. Behind the review, dig deeper too.
I'm Emily Washkovic, Yelp small business expert. Every week, I pick one review on Yelp and talk to the entrepreneur and the reviewer about the story and business lessons behind it. This week, we'll hear how Amanda and Juan, a couple based in San Angelo, Texas, saw a need and turned their passion into a successful business. West Texas Strength, Nutrition, and Training Center, a strength training gym. Let's see what's behind this week's review.
So it's not a huge gym. It's not big. I would say maybe 4,000, maybe 5,000 square feet of training space, but it never gets slammed because of its niche and unique draw towards the weightlifter, powerlifter type community. So it entices and draws a very particular type of athlete or member to it. So that was one thing. It's actually, I believe it is a converted auto repair station. This is what it's reconverted to since Juan has taken it over. And he's done a magnificent job to make it transform into a very workable, functional gym.
That's Josh, an avid Yelper, traveling food blogger, competitive athlete, and military strength coach. He's describing the space and the unique audience it draws. Let's hear Josh's review and what drew him to become and remain a member at West Texas Strength.
I have now been a member of this gym for 8 months. I joined 2 weeks after moving to Texas in need of a nearby gym that had flexible hours, good equipment for powerlifting, and functional training most of all. I could see on my first visit, this gym had that in spades. I met Juan and Amanda, the two co-owners, and meshed with them instantly. They got me, my needs, my wants, my own background in powerlifting and strength conditioning. This landed deeply for me to understand and to be listened to, not pushed, pressed, and sold for a membership alone. The gym is not huge, does not have any true machines. It's not super flashy. It's not luxurious. And I like that. This is a performance training gym for serious people, beginner to advanced athletes alike. The owners, the trainer, and the equipment are all there for a reason, to get people results fast and safely. As a 15-year strength coach myself and powerlifter of 8 years now, I can say 100% that Juan and Amanda know their stuff inside and out and practice what they preach. They do not waver with trends and fads. They do not use cookie cutter plans. They do not cut corners, period. They use evidence-based principles and build plans around people's unique needs and behaviors. Their clients and members are proof that what they do works over and over again. Their rates are amazing and even better for military members and first responders. Something is available for everyone here, I assure you. Go in and take a look. They place the people, the hours, the rates sell themselves, if you ask me.
Josh touched on so many elements that make West Texas Strength a great fit for him and his fitness goals. Much of the gym's offerings are tailored to a certain group of individuals, and that niche offering has created a community of members that was built intentionally. Let's hear how West Texas Strength came to be from owners Juan and Amanda.
I'm Amanda Boker. Our business started July of 2018. Kind of after we were in a rut of we didn't know where to train. We didn't feel comfortable training in certain places. So that's when we decided we were going to start our own gym based on what we wanted and what other people wanted as well.
My name is Juan Martinez. Like Amanda was mentioning, we started in 2018. That was like the beginning. What is West Texas Strength? The main thing to start out with is we're a barbell-based 24-hour training facility where our main goal is to empower people through strength, help them radically transform through lifestyle-based nutrition, to help them just be a better person in general. So strengthen and be a top performer.
After trying many gyms and never finding a place where they felt they fit in, Amanda and Juan were inspired to open their own space with the added elements of what they wanted as customers themselves. That's actually how many businesses come to be. People identify an unmet want or need and become inspired to pivot their careers to meet that need. And you don't have to be an expert in business from the get-go. Amanda and Juan, for example, had a scrappy start into entrepreneurship.
So how it basically started is we thought, hey, I have a business degree. He has a kinesiology degree, but we have no idea how to start a business. So we actually have a small business center here in San Angelo. So we basically set up an appointment with somebody and they taught us the basic stuff, and that's how we got started.
Prior to that, I had a little bit of experience, not necessarily running my own business, but I've managed a few different types of businesses. So I saw ins and outs of that. But at the time, I was doing more of a sole proprietor, so nutrition consulting, and then a little bit of the personal training part-time. I did that for a couple of years. And then we started to see we weren't necessarily fitting in. We started to see the need for that. And then from there, like a little that I learned here and there. And then with my nutrition consulting company, I do have a few business mentors and we kind of go back and forth. I know one of the president of which is called the Diet Doc. It's Dr. Joe Klimzeski. So he's been a big help in the beginning aspect of helping us start and plan. So I did do a little about that, but we did kind of just jump in and we figured out that some of these things we didn't learn in school, some things you do have to look up or have to reach out. I think from the LLC, and I could have a different experience, but I think it kind of just started rolling downhill. So it started, as soon as that started, it started kind of to steamroll because it felt like it was possible, right? So that just started it. And then we just kept working at it until eventually we got our ducks in a row and decided to have an opening for that.
Opening and operating a 24-hour gym was going to be a big transition for both Juan and Amanda when they started, but they did have some foundation. Juan knew about nutrition and the human body. He had successfully been serving clients in a one-to-one capacity for some time, but there would be a lot to learn, and at some point, they had to just jump in. What really makes them successful, though, is the authentic, genuine, and unique offerings they have. If you consider setup and equipment alone, they're not a gym for everybody, but they are a welcoming place for anybody interested in strength training and creating a fitness and nutrition plan. They have the knowledge, background, and desire to create a community that came from not being included in gyms they had trained at in the past.
So I guess what happened is we were part of several gyms. Then we started to notice that there was a community aspect, but then it was kind of broken down. So it wasn't necessarily like a whole community. It was, I don't want to say cliques and stuff, but it turned into that. And I think from our perspective is the gym atmosphere, it's like everyone's coming in for the same purpose, not the exactly same goal, but the same purpose is to overall just improve. So just because we weren't a part of a particular group that had particular goals or saw a certain viewpoint on certain things, we didn't welcome in the gyms. We tried changing different times, changing different gyms. And then we would go into a gym where you would say like your more standard commercial gym. So like Josh was mentioning, we're very heavy into strength training, weightlifting, powerlifting type stuff. So when you go to a real commercial gym that has a lot of people, they don't really respond to that quite a bit because it's not necessarily, it's starting to become more normalized for sure, strength training, which is great. And that's one of the reasons we're here. But we started to see that. And like I said, it just made something that we loved and we're passionate for, like enjoyable. It's something that's a part of our lives. So it should be rewarding. We should enjoy going to those places. So I think what we did to create the opposite effect is, like for me, I just like talking to people. I like learning about them. Everyone has something that I feel like I can learn from, and whether they think they're going to learn from me or not, I like to learn from people as well. So that's what gets me interested in why they want to either seek out a gym, have a particular goal. And that's kind of the environment that we try to create, is to welcome people to be, I want to say free, but
Like
be allowed to try to achieve their best self. So that's the environment that we're trying to foster and continually work on to improve. A lot of our members, what they'll do, maybe not the first or second day they see new people, but if you see someone 2, 3, 4, maybe a week's worth of coming into the gym, they all start to chat and talk to each other about everyday stuff. So we have a lot more in common than just kind of the weights. People tend to start to like coming in and, hey, let me talk to so-and-so when they're here. You know, I don't mind chatting with people who come in. So it gets to a point where I know what people drive. So if they drive something different, I'm like, oh, hey, dude, you got a new car, or hey, everything all right, kind of stuff like that. So I get to learn about these people and recognize them not only by their vehicle, and that's where we start to hit it off between that. We start talking about all kinds of different stuff.
The simple act of connecting clients with the vehicle they drive helps Juan stay engaged and allows him to greet and chat with his customers to represent the type of community he wants fostered in the gym. And this is important to Josh as well.
I have actually changed where I'm going to work out certain days just because I want to be there for the social aspect of talking to him and Amanda, or other gym members have gotten to know. And that's pretty powerful to know that between me and them and other members that they facilitate and have created this environment of connection and cohesion, that we're all here for the same reason. We get each other. This is something we all value: our fitness, our training, our powerlifting, weightlifting. And I've shifted my schedule to go and work out when I know they're going to be there, or change the lift I'm going to do that day just to be there and talk to them. I've hung out for an extra 20, 30 minutes and talked to Juan or Amanda about a meet coming up, or about how would you market this thing, or what piece of equipment you're going to get, just for the social aspect. And I think that's something that they've built that you can't put your finger on exactly, because it's not a piece of equipment. It's not in your membership. It's not an amenity, but it's an unwritten, untangible that has changed my behaviors to go and use that gym because of the social elements that exist there.
And it goes beyond saying hello. It's about the knowledge and education that Juan and Amanda bring, and the trust with their community that they build through their expertise.
One of the big concerns with strength training is, hey, I want to be safe. I'm interested in this stuff, but I don't want to hurt myself. So when people walk in, we evaluate and kind of see, just based on the initial conversation, of where they're at, what their goals are. And then, of course, at the same time, kind of showing them what we have and to offer. So I think by doing that, they're more willing to ask more questions. And then at that point is be more willing to actually attempt the thing that they're trying to come and do. Because for us, the big thing is, we want people to sign up. And I tell them when they're here is, I'd like for you to sign up, but I also want you to come and use our facility. Like, it's just not signing up and then we're done with it, because I do want you to get better and see all the benefits that the strength training and the environment can provide for you. So whether that's in person, I think also online. So people seeing that, either critiquing technique on a certain lift or giving tips on a certain lift, gives them almost the permission. They give themselves the permission to be like, hey, I'm going to ask him a question. He's always talking about it. Seems like he's talking to me. I'm going to ask him about this, right? And I think the other thing too is that it builds more trust, is because they see, not necessarily on a daily basis, but even a weekly basis, some type of correction or adjustment or anything by any client, a member, that some members volunteer for that stuff. Hey, go ahead and post that online so other people can know. Is if they see people like, oh, like I struggle with that too, is I'm going to ask him about it. Like, I've been meaning to ask him, but I just didn't find the time. They see something, and then that's what it is. So I think that's how the relationship gets built. A story is, I have a particular client, and he's been strength training forever, but one of the big things was he's wanting to pursue the next level, which to him, the next level would be some type of like powerlifting stuff. But he was always concerned, could his body tolerate it? We did an initial assessment after our first session, made some adjustments, and then he realized that we were doing some things inefficiently. So that's where we addressed his pain aspects. So that actually opened up the floodgates to ask more questions and let me know a little bit more about what's going on. And again, that's just something if we address, I won't say it's small because back pain's a pretty big deal, but if it's something that we can address that they've been dealing with for a while, that's the ticket there.
Let's take a quick break. If you're a small business owner, this is for you. Running a business is just plain hard. Endless to-do lists, employees to take care of, and your ever-present bottom line. So first of all, kudos to you for staying on top of it all. I want to tell you about Gusto. Gusto built an easier and more affordable way to manage payroll, benefits, and more. They help over 100,000 businesses with tasks like automated payroll tax filing, simple direct deposits, free health insurance administration, 401ks, onboarding tools. You name it, Gusto made it easy. And they really care about the small business owners they work with. Their support team is attentive and helpful. And since money can be tight right now, you'll get 3 months free once you run your first payroll. Just go to gusto.com/review and start setting up your business today. You'll see what I mean when I say easy. Again, that's 3 months of free payroll at gusto.com/review. That's gusto.com/review. And we're back. Juan has discovered that by empowering gym members to post content on social media of them working out with him, asking questions, or learning something new, it inspires other members to ask questions too and seek out his expertise while they're at the gym. Something I was super interested in while talking to Amanda and Juan was how they collaborate and take on the tasks of the business. Any entrepreneurial partnership has its challenges, of course. But when your business partner is also your life partner, there are more dimensions there.
So it can be difficult at times, just like any other business. But I think when you're mixing a relationship into a business, it's even harder. But we try to divide tasks and conquer. I mainly do taxes, the books, the paperwork. I'm not here all the time. He's mainly here, and he does the personal training, getting the client, talking to the people.
Social media.
It's because at night, I work at a night job on base. Last year, we took the leap and he decided to quit his 9-to-5 job and make this permanent. So far, it's been really rewarding, I believe. We've seen a lot of positive outcomes.
Yeah, definitely growth.
It was a little scary at first.
So definitely some growth. I mean, some of the challenges are at some point we would have to get our both thought processes to kind of meet somewhere in the middle to make sure that we can get those tasks done. And then I think for me particularly, my mind runs like a million miles an hour. So
and my mind runs really slow.
And so we have to find a middle ground to be able to get that done. So I think with just like anything, if you go to work for someone else or a corporate job, is they try to assess your skills and see what we're best at. And then that's what we figured is like, hey, if you do this task, like the admin stuff, the taking in all the money, all that stuff, and you're comfortable with that, and you're better at that probably than I would be, then let's try those tasks out. I'm better at like the training part, the consulting, the client relationship. That's how we found what worked best for us. And then again, like she was mentioning, the challenge would be is to get our schedule, because we technically work opposite schedules because she does work nights. So then trying to find that balance after the business is kind of, over with, or the business day.
Juan and Amanda are passionate about their business. They're also passionate about the community and giving back. You may have caught Amanda mentioning that she works on base. She's referring to the military base right near their gym. Being a part of that community as entrepreneurs gives them the ability to give back and honor those community members.
So growing up, I was a military child. So that's where a little bit of that comes from. And I do help and serve the military basically at all times. So when we decided to start our business, we made sure to have military, first responders, even nurses get discounts here because we do have a lot of nurse friends and we see how hard they work. So we just want to give a little bit back if they're giving a little to us as well.
The other thing that ties into the base and all is because Josh had mentioned about being a performance-based gym, and he's in that direct line of work where he deals with the firefighters. But I think if they can find a place where they can improve, particularly in those areas, I think carry over greatly to their particular job. And then again, if they happen to get sent overseas and all that other stuff, strength is very applicable to those. So that's another thing that just makes sense for us. So trying to give them a place to be able to do that is what we wanted to do as well. So
the military discount was also important to Josh. It's something he looks out for and is a differentiating factor when deciding who to support. Josh is passionate about supporting local businesses and also passionate about sharing those experiences as reviews.
So everyone's been a consumer at some point, looking for something, shopping for something, or trying to decide on what they want to buy, where they want to go, what service they want. So for me, I'm probably over analytical when I look at what I want to buy, what I want to get, what gym I'm going to join. And it can be a very confusing, it can be frustrating, it can be daunting to have to go through that experience when you're going from scratch. So I felt that if I'm going to go through these processes anyway, whether it's dining out, buying clothes, booking a trip, choosing an airline, or joining a gym, I might as well help someone else or a number of other people fast track that process and go right through my path or walk in my shoes and be like, oh, here's what he did and why. Let's see how it went for him. And maybe I've just taken all that frustration or all that time and effort and struggle out of it because I've said, here's what I picked and here's why. And just I fast tracked it for them. So again, restaurants, gyms, those kinds of thing, the next closest thing to being taken there themselves to see it and understand it and get the inside scoop without having to do the grunt work themselves. Why not share that with people? I'm already going to go through the effort anyway. Let's put that out there for the rest of the world to see. And if 5, 10, 500 other people see it, well, then I just help them all out too. And maybe they'll come back and look for another review to try to fast track the next thing that they want to go and find or buy or purchase.
And from a business owner's perspective, Amanda and Juan also value reviews from their customers, whether they're positive or constructive. And they make an effort to acknowledge and personally thank their customers for sharing their experiences through online reviews.
I do enjoy reviews. It lets me know that I'm doing a good job. I don't know how others feel, but if there happened to be a bad review, I wouldn't be disappointed in that either, because it tells me on the areas that I need to improve on. Because there's always room for that. But I think that I continue to do what I'm doing. We should see a continuous positive reviews. I do use the reviews as leverage. I like to use those like on social media, post about our reviews that people have provided for us, how much they like the gym, the experience they received with me. They post on whether it's Yelp, Facebook, or even like Google. And then when I train my clients, whether they're remote or in person, my app has reviews as well. So I try to use those to show people that we're doing a good job, that people enjoy it, that they're going to get benefits from coming in here. I definitely enjoy reading and seeing those, and I think it just helps the business in general.
And I think we definitely like the reviews because we use them when we go out of town for other gyms as well. So that's how.
Yeah. I mean, like everyone gives us feedback of places they've been to, or like Josh was mentioning, when you see like a 5-star, hey, it was great. That doesn't really help.
Like how great was it?
Yeah, like it doesn't really help us out a whole lot. So again, we like reviews, not only for our business, but using them to make purchases, check out new spots. I think Yelp is the biggest thing that I use for food. So that's like, for me, that's what it is.
To close us out, I wanted to allow Juan to share what entrepreneurship means to him.
I'm sure if other entrepreneurs are listening, it's definitely a lot of work for sure. But I think I would say it's more rewarding because you get to create something, and the more, I want to say the harder you work, because you have to work smarter as well. But the more you work, the better you're going to be at whatever your product is or service. And then entrepreneurship allows you to actually show your passion to the world, I think.
And that concludes our episode. Be sure to subscribe so you get new episodes every Thursday. I hope you enjoyed it and were able to take a thing or two away to implement in your own life. Whether it's a new idea that you can bring back to your business or a fresh perspective on how to be a positive influence as a consumer, we share these stories to inspire and create more meaningful connections in your local community. For more information about today's business or to connect with me, check out the show notes.
Behind the review, dig deeper too. Behind the review, get all the news. Food, flowers, fixing, make business boom. Behind the review, dig deeper too.
Today's show featured conversations with Juan and Amanda of West Texas Strength and Josh H., a Yelp elite and food blogger living in Texas. Special thanks to Leanna Fang, who helped write this episode. To learn more, check out the episode blog post. And don't forget to subscribe so you get an alert each Thursday when a new story comes out. To claim your own Yelp business page and start engaging with consumers, visit business.yelp.com. Starting this month, we have a special offer for our listeners who are interested in trying Yelp advertising. Use code BTRPOD300 to get started today. That's BTRPOD300 to get started today. and a $300 upfront credit will be applied instantly. Charges apply once credit is used, cannot be combined with other offers. Any unused credit expires 90 days from date of acceptance. Eligible businesses only, subject to Yelp's master advertising terms. This offer expires at the end of 2021. Our theme song is performed by Ali Schwartz and produced by Robbie G of Messerol Sound. The show was produced and edited by Entrepreneur Media.